In a world absolutely packed with cryptocurrencies that all seem to be playing by the same rules, there's this one project that's, well, it's deliberately taking a different road. We are talking about the Pi network. And it's a project that really wants to challenge the entire crypto status quo, all by asking one pretty simple question. What if everyone could get in on this?
And that quote right there, that really frames this entire explainer. It's a pretty bold claim, right? It sets Pi way apart from giants like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what does it actually mean to be a nonconformist in the crypto space? Let's dive in and find out.
So what really makes this project so different? Well, the source material tells us it isn't just about the technology or the lines of code. Nope, it's about a completely fresh philosophy for what a digital currency should be and, more importantly, who it should be for.
And this right here gets to the absolute heart of Pi's whole philosophy. See, it's not trying to win a race on transaction speed or price. It's competing on principle. The goal is to build a bridge to make cryptocurrency accessible to literally everyone, not just the tech whizzes or the big money investors. It's all about bringing millions of people into the crypto revolution who've pretty much been stuck on the sidelines.
Okay, so to really get this whole nonconformist idea, it really helps to look at what Pi is not doing. It's basically throwing out the standard crypto playbook, which creates this huge contrast with the typical project launches we've all seen a million times.
This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? That conventional path, on the left, usually means a huge, flashy ICO to rake in cash up front. It requires these massive, energy-guzzling mining farms. And let's be honest, it's almost entirely focused on speculative trading. Pi just flips that script. It dodged the ICO in favor of slower, more organic growth. It replaced those powerful mining rigs with the phone that's probably in your pocket right now. And it's trying like heck to shift the focus from just speculation to actual, real-world usefulness. And that brings us to what is, honestly, probably the most important piece of the Pi network puzzle. Its community. This is not some top-down project. Its value, its future, it's all meant to be shaped by the millions of people who are part of it every single day. And the scale of this thing is crucial. We're talking over 50 million registered users. This is not some small niche experiment. This massive global user base was built on that one promise of accessibility. But you gotta be asking, how is it even technically possible to mine on a phone without your battery just exploding in like 5 minutes?
Well, the secret sauce is in its core technology. Instead of that super energy-hungry proof-of-work system that Bitcoin uses, where computers are in a constant race to solve complex puzzles, Pi uses something called the Stellar Consensus Protocol, or SCP. Think of it less like a frantic race and more like a vote. Users create these trusted circles of people, and transactions get validated when enough of those trusted members agree. It's an incredibly efficient method, and it means the network can be secured without needing massive computational power. And that is what makes mining on a mobile phone possible. And according to the source, this is how simple it is to get involved. It's kind of ridiculous. No complicated software, no expensive hardware. You just open the app and tap a button once a day. That's it. This radical simplicity is the real engine behind that massive community growth, and it's what the project hopes will create a really powerful sense of shared ownership.
But look, the ambition here goes way beyond just creating an easy-to-use coin. The much bigger vision, as the source describes it, is to help build the actual foundation of the future internet, an era that a lot of people are calling Web 3.
So just for a little context, Web 3 is this idea of a whole new internet, one that's built on decentralized tech like blockchain. It's a vision where power shifts away from a handful of giant tech companies and back to you, the individual user. Pi's big goal here is to be a key catalyst for that change, giving everyday people the tools they need to be a part of it.
The game plan here is to build a totally self-sustaining digital economy. The source really highlights the development of marketplaces, social apps, and all sorts of other services, all powered by the Pi currency. The ultimate goal is for PiCoin to be used for actual goods and services inside its ecosystem, not just as another speculative asset to be flipped on an exchange.
Okay, but let's be real. This whole ambitious journey is not without its roadblocks. The project is facing some pretty significant skepticism and several major challenges that it absolutely has to navigate to succeed.
So, as you can see, there are 3 big hurdles up ahead. First, global crypto regulations are still a messy and unpredictable landscape, to put it mildly. Second, a lot of people in the traditional crypto world are really skeptical of Pi's model, especially since its main network isn't fully open to the public yet. And finally, just the task of educating tens of millions of brand new users about the complexities of crypto, that's just a monumental job.
So what's their playbook for dealing with all this? Well, according to the source, the strategy is all about building trust. And that means focusing on transparency with its community, actively communicating about their development progress, and forging global partnerships to make the whole ecosystem stronger. When you're facing that much skepticism, those are the tools you have to use. So after looking at the philosophy, the community, the challenges, we have to ask the big question. Is there any real, tangible evidence that this is a functioning project and not just a cool idea? And according to the source material, the evidence seems to point to yes. You have the release of a Pi node for desktop computers, which lets users contribute more to the network security. You have reports of PiCoin being used for real transactions within its closed ecosystem. There's a growing number of utility apps and continuous protocol updates. All of these things suggest this is far more than just a theory. It really looks like an active, developing digital economy in the making.
And so, that's where we'll leave it. Is Pi Network pioneering a more inclusive, more accessible future for finance? A genuine revolution for the masses? Or is it the world's largest social experiment testing the true power of community in our digital age? The project's non-conformist path makes it one of the most fascinating stories in crypto to watch. And honestly, only time is going to tell which one it turns out to be.